Hello. Hello, very good evening, everyone. I'm audible to you all. Hello. You can use the chat box to share the messages to me itself. Hello. Okay, I've got the responses. Yes, I'm audible. So, hi, how are you all? Great, sir. Good evening, sir. Fine, sir. Shivam says good, sir. Anand, all good, Anand. What about the others? Where they are? Okay, I got multiple responses from Vaishnavi itself. Okay. So very good evening, very good evening. Okay. So before we start, I would like to tell you something important for the today's session, right? So first of all, very good evening, everyone, right? And I'm excited to see many of the passionate learners over here, right? Just hold for a moment, give me a time. Okay. So please respond me once for that if I'm audible to you all, right? Am I audible? Okay. Okay. That's great. Yeah. So I'm very excited to see so many passionate learners over here, right? So before we begin, let me quickly introduce we can say the vibe for today's session, right? So this is not going to be a theoretical lecture, right? And this is going to be a practical, interactive, and mind-shifting lecture where I want a small commitment from you all that for next couple of hours you have to stay fully present, close all unnecessary tabs, and stay active in the chat, right? Because learning happens when you engage. So how many of you agrees with this? You can use the chat box to reply. Okay, I got a message from Sneha that yes, sir. Okay, you are Vaishnavi, Prablin Kaur. Okay, okay, done. Meghna, right? Sure. That's great. That's totally great, right? So we'll be starting for today's session, right? So let me set the context for today's session here. So today we are not about just to learn about the tools. So we are here to learn the skills that are actually shaping the future, right? Such as we have heard many of the words like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science. So like these are not going to be just buzzwords anymore, right? So companies are using them and startups are building on them. So and the students like you are building the careers on them, right? With them also. And the difference between someone who just knows about the AI and someone who can work with AI, that is the real practice and the clarity, right? And that's exactly what we are going to build today itself. So we'll be working with the case study, right? And we'll be seeing that how it's going to be, how we will be covering all the things, right? So let me tell you that how the session will go. So we'll be understanding the core concepts. We'll be seeing the live demonstration, breaking the things step by step, and most importantly, we'll be understanding the logic behind everything, right? So even if you are a beginner, don't worry about that. I will be explaining everything from the basics itself. And if you already have some knowledge related to the coding, we can say the modeling part, how to build a model, how we can work with the data. So you all can try to connect deeper, right? So I want you guys to think like a problem solver, not just a coder itself, right? And since this is going to be a virtual session, you may not be able to unmute yourself, but you can always use the chat. As usual, I used to say, right? So whenever I will be asking you the questions, you have You can answer the answers in the you can answer in the chats basically, right? So even if you are not sure, I want you all to try with your answers because mistakes are allowed over here and silence is not, right? So I want everyone to see active participation, right? And let me ask you something, that how many of you have thought that AI is complicated, or we can say the coding is complicated? How many of you think about this? You can drop your messages in the chat box. Okay. How many of you thinks about this? That the coding is difficult? You can say yes or no. Yeah, a little bit. Shom is saying yes, sir, a little bit. Okay. Manu is saying not exactly, but sometimes. Purnima is saying yes, it is difficult. Oh my God. Lots of their difficulties are there, right? Gayatri, yes. Okay. So we'll try to make it in a simpler way by today's session. And I will be letting you know each and everything, that how we can work, how to work, how what does a single line of a specific code means, how we'll be moving, which on which ID will be moving, right? On which playground we will be moving, we can say like that, right? So we'll be doing each and everything related to that, right? And in this session, I want you to think like a student, like a future data scientist, or maybe a machine learning engineer, or maybe a problem solver, because these skills grow your identity, right? So, with that energy, let's officially begin, right? So, for letting the session runs smoothly, you all, everyone knows about this program, right? So let's skip this part and come to the session rules. So to make the session run smoothly, there are some basic hygiene rules. First, please try to avoid the background distraction. Second, please use the chat box only for the session related discussion. Either it can be the answers, polls, or whatever it is, right? And finally, please try to join on time and stay till end, because the session is designed in a flow that each concept builds on the previous one, right? So before we start with the coding part, right, I would like to introduce the today's agenda. That is, we'll be moving with the case study that is called to be the Titanic machine learning case study. How many of you know about the Titanic one? Just reply me in the chat box. How many of you remember about the Titanic scenario which was happened in 1912? 1912. How many of you know about that? Okay, I got a message from Vanshika. She is saying, yeah, I remember that. Dell. Oh my God. The company is also remembering the cases, right? Sonu is saying yes, yes, yes. Okay, I got multiple yeses over there. Right, that's great. So we'll be moving with that with that specific case study, and after that we'll know. Will I will let you know that how that case study can be converted into a business understanding. Right, we'll be understanding that as well. Later on, we'll be doing the data manipulation part where we'll be cleaning the data and moving with the feature extraction and feature engineering, and many more things are there. Then we'll be moving with the model creation and evaluation, that how actually the models are built. बहुत पढ़ लिया, बहुत देख लिया हमने पिछले 7 सेशंस के अंदर, और we can say the 6 सेशंस के अंदर, that how we can, how the different models are, how the different algorithm works. We have covered 4 algorithms, right? That can be the logistic, decision tree, KNN, that is called to be your K nearest neighbor, and the last one is called to be your random forest, right? So how many of you agrees with that? You have done with that, right? You have gone with that. Okay, me, Smidhi, Sanidhi, sorry for that. Says yes, we know that. Okay, I got multiple answers over there. So yes, so we'll be starting with that, right? So we'll be moving with all of these algorithms. We'll be creating the models for all these 4 algorithms, and we'll be doing the comparison that which algorithm is best and how it is best and why it is best with these 3 questions, right? So अभी तक हमने पढ़ा था like that yes decision tree, if will be coming towards this decision tree, yes it is better than a logistic regression, or we can say the KNN, but these all are having different use cases, right? And along with that use cases we have to figure it out that how it is being used, and how and where it is going to being used. So this is the main motive of today's session, and we'll see that how to specifically create the, we can say that specific models, right? So before we start our session, I would like you to pick out your phones, mobile phones, and to scan the QR code, so that I should also get to know that how you are in this model creation and the feature engineering part, or we can say the EDA, that is called to be your exploratory data analysis. So how you all are in that. Just pick out your phones and scan the QR code and fill out the form. Be quick, everyone. So once you are done with that, please drop me a message to that. Done, sir. I have done with that. Sir, I found your videos on Honeywell LMS, but their videos are but the video is not uploaded. Like they were new way of learning by QR is not available. Okay. Okay, Shivam will look into this problem and we'll get back to you soon, right? Okay. Make no. Yes, Praveen done. Okay. So how many of you are done? Okay, Sanika says done. What about the rest? Where are you? Okay, Gitanjali says done, sir. Sneha says done, sir. Shubham says done, sir. Done. Okay, big done are there, right? Radhika also says done. That's great. So let's start with the main concept. That is from data decisions, from data to decisions, Titanic machine learning case study, right? So everyone, before we start coding in the machine learning, we basically needs a playground, right? So now we are going to explore something that is very much important. That is called to be the interface for Google Colab. So how you can move to that? You can move to a new tab and specifically search for Google Colab. You will find this thing over there. I will make a search for you also as well. You can directly write Google Colab. If you'll hit enter, you can find there is a first link. Welcome to Colab or Google, right? So once you will click on this link, you will be on this page. You can do along with me, right? So just type done in the chat box if you are on the same page like me. Okay. Okay. Anand says done, sir. Purnima says done. Vanshika says done. Okay. Ankita says done. Radhika says done. Okay. So I got multiple dones over here, right? So we can move forward. So while starting with this, yeah, Chirag, done. That's great. So before, now we are going to explore basically this something important that is called to be the interface for Google Colab, right? So before we write any code in this, and before we build any machine learning model, we need to understand our workspace as well, right? So think of this Google Colab like your online coding laboratory. We can say जैसे आपका virtual lab होता है ना, so जहाँ पे tools already installed होते हैं. So Google Colab is developed by Google's itself and it is similar to that only, right? यहाँ पे आपके पास सारी libraries पहले से ही installed हैं. So you don't have to install it again. No, you can directly move with the libraries itself, right? And it allows you to write and execute every single line, every Python code, we can say, in the browser itself. And here's the no installation is required, no setup is required, बस internet चाहिए and Google का account होना चाहिए. That's simple, right? Now let's understand the interface step by step. So, so the first look over the very top of your screen, here you will find the multiple tools over there. We can say the multiple sections are there. First one is for the files, then edit, then view, then insert is there, then runtime is there, then tool is there, then help section is there, right? So this is called to be your menu bar, right? So let's understand the important options. From the file option, you can create a new notebook in your Drive, Google Drive itself. You can open a notebook which is already exists in your. You can upload a specific notebook that can be either in both files, both the terms. So we can say though both the extensions will be working over here. Either if it is going to be your .py file or if it is going to be your .ipynb file, both will work over here, right? You can save a copy in Drive. You can save a copy as a GitHub gist, and you can save a copy in GitHub as well. You can save the notebook as well. You can get the notebook information as well. You can download it in both the terms. Either it can be in the form of IPYNB or either it can be in the form of .py as well. Or also you can print it, right? So let's begin our first thing, that is to be, I will be moving with the new notebook in Drive, right? So I will close this one, close the first one. And after that, we'll be moving to the next sections. Okay. So this second one, that is called to be the edit. Here you can do undo, redo, whatever the things are there. So basically this is used for doing the मैनिपुलेशन पार्ट. मतलब अगर आपको इसके अंदर कोई भी चेंजेस करने हैं, कुछ डिलीट करना है, कुछ भी हटाना है, कुछ एडिट करना है, कुछ इंसर्ट करना है, तो ऑल ऑफ द थिंग्स यू कैन डू ओवर हियर फ्रॉम दिस एडिट ऑप्शन, राइट? इंसर्ट से कमिंग टुवर्ड्स दिस इंसर्ट, within this insert you can add the new cells, you can add the text cells as well. So these are the important ones. Now coming towards the runtime, this is very much important. Let's suppose you guys are working with the some n number of codes, right? And while writing that codes, your session got expired. So in that scenario, what will happen? You can directly come to this runtime and you can directly use these options, right? You can run the cell. After that you can change the runtime type, right? You can stop the code execution of the code, and you can restart from the starting itself. You can do everything in that, right? So this is the main scenarios. The file is the important one, the edit is the important one, then the insert is the important one, then the runtime is the important one, right? And along with that runtime, there is one more thing that is very much important. That is called to be your switching between these runtimes. That is going to be coming over here to the connect. From here, you can connect to a local runtime as well, connect to a Google Cloud runtime as well, and you can connect to a hosted runtime as well. So these are the main scenarios, right? And now on the top of the left hand side, you will see that there it is written untitled 1.ipynb. From here, you can rename your file. For example, I will be giving the Titanic underscore case study, right? So accordingly, you can give the names of your files as well, right? And coming towards the toolbar section. So these are called to be your toolbar section. This one is called to be your toolbar section, where you have similar options. Either that can be for code, either that can be for text, or to run all. From here, you can have a look that restart the session and run all. So, and clear all outputs. You can do all the things over here. Now coming towards the left hand side, you will find there is 3 dot. It's called to be the table of contents, right? Here the main and the major important thing is to be the file, right? And to be the this thing code snippet. Here from here you can get all the snippets for that specific codes. And from here, this is the file section where majorly you can upload your data set. Let's suppose I have to upload. I will click on this one. I will upload my Titanic data set, right? And you can have a look that my data set has been uploaded into this Google Drive itself, this Google Colab itself, right? And if you'll see on the right hand side, you will find there's an option for the RAM and the disk. So it will be showing you everything related to that, how much storage it is occupying. That a specific file is occupying. This file that is called to be a Titanic case study. And this is what the totally very much important for this, right? Again, coming towards the code cells. So this is where you can write your Python codes. This one, right? For example, if I will be writing over here, print, I'm going to like this, hello world, right? And if I will be doing shift plus enter. So there are some shortcuts to run this cell. If you want to run, you can click over here, this play button, it will run. if you want to run with the shortcuts, you can press shift plus enter. So it will run execute the it will execute that specific code. Now, if you want to add a text text of a cell that is for text itself, so you can either click over here, either you can click over here. If you'll be clicking like this, it will be coming like this one. So this cell will be appeared over here where you can write your text, whatever text you want. For example, I want to write Titanic case study, right? If I will put shift plus enter, you can have a look that it has been the cell has been executed as a markdown, or we can say the text one, right? So accordingly, अगर आप यहाँ पे accordingly hashtags दोगे, जैसे कि हम उसके अंदर HTML के अंदर देते हैं, तो size can be set according to that. अगर आप एक रखोगे, it will be having the H1 size, right? So this is what we can usually work with this thing. And after that, what we can have a look that let's suppose if you guys are going to work with the Jupyter, then what we can do. So Jupyter will be having a new snippet like this one, not the snippet itself. It's basically a new file. So once I will be clicking over this new file, you can have a look over here. So it will be working like this. So this is called to be the best IDE, or we can say, yeah, we can say the best playground basically for data science, or we can say the machine learning, right? So how many of you agrees with that? Just drop me a message over the chat. How many of you agrees with this thing? Okay. Okay. Shubham is saying that in this only for Python code, not for the Python code itself. Yeah. Okay. Gayatri says yes, yes. Suhana's sorry for that if I'm wrong. Jackin says VS Code. Okay, you goes with the VS Code. Meghna says yes, sir, yes, sir. Vaishnavi says yes, sir. Okay, I got multiple yeses over here, right? Yeah. So if you want to install this Jupyter notebook, so I am dropping a link in the chat box. You can have a look over there, and going to this, you can install it in your systems as well, right? So you can do it by that. So you can have a look over the chat box. You can have the link, right? So now coming towards this thing, once you will be on this link, I will show you. So once you will be on this link, there will be several options, right? So once you will click on this get started, so as I can have a look that if I have opened this into a Mac, so you will be getting it downloaded for the Mac itself, right? And if you will open it into the Windows, you will be getting it for the Windows itself. So it's accordingly work, right? So this is the main thing. Now coming towards the next scenario, that is what or how we can do it. You can install it by using the alternate options that is called to be your terminal, or we can say it is going to be the command prompt. By that also you can install by writing pip install notebook, right? So by writing that command also, it will work for you all, right? So once you will be done with the installation part, and once you will open the Jupyter notebook, it will be something like this slide. You can have a look. Just allow me for a moment. Okay. Yeah. Now you can have a look. So this page will be coming to you all. So once you will click to this new and come to this Python 3, you will be appear to this page where it will be asking you to start with your project, or start with your codes, right? So when you will see multiple options over here, right? So in the first cell, if I will be writing over here if I will be writing over here, that is going to be print hello world, right? Hello world. Like this. If I will be running this, you can have a look that I am getting hello world. Now, if you want to convert this specific cell into a markdown, we can say, or into a raw, what you can directly do, you can come to this code section. Instead of this code, you can convert it into markdown. So जैसे ही markdown में convert करोगे, it will be converted into a text cell, right? So here you can write the text. For example, Titanic case straight. I will run this one. You can have a look. I will delete this one. So for deleting the cells, you have a shortcut key that is called to be the D option. If you will press D twice, this cell will be deleted. But the thing is that कि आपका कर्सर ये सेल के अंदर नहीं होना चाहिए, सेल के बाहर होना चाहिए ऐसे. Like अब मैं अगर यहाँ पे डबल डी प्रेस करूंगा, then it will be deleted. You can have a look over there, or easily you can delete it from here as well, right? So this is the thing. Now coming towards the second scenario, let's suppose I have told you about the markdown cell, right? Now, coming towards the operations, or we can say the operators, how many types of operators are there in Python? Please tell me in the chat box. Everyone, please be fast. Import HTML for Python to get web development also. Okay, yes, Krishna, you are right. Puneet, yes, 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 yes. Okay, so my question was that how many types of operators are there? Okay, Manu is saying three. So please, can you name them? Okay. Unary binary territory. Okay. Puneet says, I don't know that what you have written, Puneet. Chirag says me. Sneha says, nahi hua sir. Okay. Radhika says assignment, relational, arithmetic operators. Yes, you are right. Shivam says, anaconda or miniconda. Which one should we choose to download? Um, I will say I will prefer anaconda only, right? I'm getting logged out of again and again. Okay, Chirag, no worries. So, wishing you a very happy birthday, right? Samira says logical operator, relational operators. Yeah, multiple operators are there, right? Let's try some maths itself. If we will be writing 10 plus 20, right? Here, it will be working, right? So this is how usually it works. सिंपल सा सिनेरियो है. एक चीज कान में बिठा लो, दिमाग में बिठा लो अपने, दैट whenever you have to execute the cell, you have to press shift plus enter. Whenever you have to delete some cell, you can press double D. Whenever you have to restart whole the things, whole the kernel, we can say, you can come to this directly to the kernel, and from here you can directly click on this restart kernel, or you can say you can use another options that are restart kernel and clear all the output of the cells. You can use restart kernel and run up to the selected cells. You can use restart kernels and run all cells. So majorly we use restart kernel either, or in either this one. We can say restart kernels and run all the cells. So these are two major things, right? And the most important part, right? So I will show you two or three more important shortcuts, right? For example, I have shown you the first one that is called to be for executing the cell, that is shift plus enter. For importing new cell, if you will be pressing A, it will be importing a new cell. Just have a look. The new cells are being imported, right? If we'll be pressing double D, it will be deleted from here, right? If you will be pressing M, it will be automatically converted into the markdown cell. अब ये पता कैसे चलता है that this cell is converted into markdown? तो जब ये markdown में रहता है cell, then यहाँ पर आपके पास brackets नहीं आते, right? देखो, see, I have converted into code. अभी code में है तो you will be getting over here the brackets. I will write over here 10 plus 20, right? So here you will get the numbers. अगर यहाँ पे bracket आ रहे हैं, numbers आ रहे हैं, it means that you are entering into a code cell. Or if I will be converting it into markdown, so see, just have a look. Markdown के पास कोई भी आपके पास bracket नहीं आते, कोई भी number नहीं आते. Whatever you will write, right, it will be counted as a text only, right? Just have a look. देखो, जो भी मैंने लिखा, it has been counted as a text only, normal text only, not any number specific numbers. So this is the main scenario. Now, if I will restart my kernel and run all cell, right? Okay, done. And from here, you can change the name. Once you will click on this untitled 8, you can give the name, file name. Titanic case study, right? And from here, you can save the file and you can download it from here itself. And once you will click on this this floppy disk option, the file will be automatically saved. Now just have a look. Last checkpoint 1 seconds ago. It means till here my file has been saved, right? So let's start with the rest of the scenarios. So okay. So now before we jump into the Titanic dataset, right? So let me ask you something very important. So machine learning is not just an algorithm, or we can say the coding itself, right? So it's all about solving the real world's problem using the data. तो जो machine learning है उसका main goal क्या होता है? That is okay. First you tell, then I will let you know about this thing. क्या होता है बताओ जल्दी. What's the main goal of machine learning? Okay, I have got multiple answers. Sir, okay. Should we use Colab or Jupyter? You can use anything to solve real world complex problems. Soham says. Moksh says to understand humans. Rutura says make machines learn to do useful actions. Okay, Athav says making it capable of learning its own, right? That's great. That's totally correct, right? So coming towards the scenario, let's move to the business perspective, right? This one, business understanding. So now, before touching the data, a very important question comes over here, that why we are solving this problem. That is called to be your this Titanic case. Why we are moving with this? So this is called, this question, thinking about this question is called to be your business understanding. कि हम क्यों वो चीज कर रहे हैं, क्यों इस केस स्टडी को हमने चूज करा, और why we are going to perform the actions on this. इसको बोला जाता है बिजनेस अंडरस्टैंडिंग, कि आप बिजनेस को समझने का ट्राई कर रहे हो. दैट वट एवर द केस यू हैव टेकन, यू आर ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट, राइट? So in real industry, the data scientists never start coding. They start with understanding that what is the business goal, what decisions need to be made, and who will use the prediction, right? So in this Titanic case, imagine you are a safety analyst in the year, we can say the 1912, and your goal is to understand that which type of passengers were more likely to survive, right? So this is the first thing. And the second thing, that what factors influenced survival. And why it is important? Because if we understand the patterns, so we can improve the safety policies, right? Prioritize the evacuation better, right? And we can say make smarter decisions in the future disasters, right? So always remember that machine learning is not all about predicting about the survivals, that how many people survived in that case. So it's also about learning the patterns to improve the future decisions as well, right? So now the problem statement comes over here, that let me define it very clearly, that if we'll be now defining the problem statement is also, we can say, very important. Let's suppose, अब दो तरीके से मैं प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट को डिफाइन करता हूं, ठीक है? First thing, that is, let's analyze Titanic data, right? So this is my problem statement. Now coming toward the second problem statement, कि by using the passenger data, we want to predict whether a passenger survived or not. So which one is more stronger? First one or the second one? Please type in the chat box. Which one is stronger? Okay. Second one. Okay. Second one, right? Okay. 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 Yeah, the second one is more stronger because वहां पे हम specifically उस problem को अच्छे से define कर रहे हैं, right? That you, by using the passenger data, we want to predict whether a passenger is survived or not. और फर्स्ट वाले में सिंपल हमने बोल दिया analyze the Titanic data. So that is not going to be a problem statement, right? So that is what we are actually telling. So एक strong problem statement define करना is very much important, right? So now let me ask you, are we going to predict a number like a salary, or we are going to predict a category like yes or no? What do you think about this? You can type in the chat box. Okay. Manu says, sorry, survival, yes or no? Okay. What about rest? Okay. Meghna says category, right? Puneet says second one. Ruturaj says category. Okay. Arthava say, Atharva says category. Yes, we are going to analyze and we are going to work with we are going to predict the category itself, right? So that is going to be we are going to predict the survived rate. That is in the form of 0 and 1, which means that our output is binary, which means the prediction problem which is having two possible outcomes, either 0 or either 1, right? And in the real world companies, this clarity is extremely important for them, right? And if problem statement is unclear, entire project fails over there. ऐसा हमने बहुत बार देखा है, राइट? सो दिस इज द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग कि जब भी आप प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट डिफाइन कर रहे हो और अपना जो भी आपका गोल है, सो यू हैव टू स्टेट दीज टू थिंग्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंटली, राइट? नाउ लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड दैट what do we have actually in the data, right? So we have multiple columns in that data. That can be passenger ID, passenger class. We can say name is there, sex is there, age is there. SIB SP, that is called to be your siblings or spouses. Parch, that is called to be your parents and children's, right? I know that I haven't written over here. I will show you that in the code as well, right? So there are multiple columns, and now we have to think like a detective, like, right? Like which of these features might influence the survival? What do you think about that? I will make my guesses, like it can be gender, it can be age. What do you think about for this? Yeah, you can drop your answers in the chat. I will repeat the question once again, that which one of these features might influence the survival? Might be gender, might be age. I have given two examples. Okay, height, weight also. Okay. Okay, I have got one more answer, that is for ticket class. Okay, right. Fees paid, fare paid. Right. That is also right. Yes. So this picking the important columns, we can say, या फिर पूरे डेटा में से जो भी आपको लग रहा है ना, that it is going to be very much useful. Picking that thing is called to be the feature understanding, that how, yes, you are understanding the features, that which features are most important for this, right? And before modeling, we must understand that what each column means, what is input, what is going to be your output, and which columns may be irrelevant, right? For example, let's take an example of name. What do you think? Is it useful for prediction or not? Yes, you can drop the message in the chat box. Okay, Rutura says no. Shivam says not. Okay. Puneet says no. A big no is there from Puneet itself, right, man? Yes. Name is outlier. Okay. Yashvi says no. Okay, that's great. Yes, that is not useful for a prediction, right? And this is how we start thinking like a data scientist, right? Because data समझने, without understanding the data, model banana is like without reading questions, directly solving the answer, solving them into the exams. It's like that only. And we never do that, right? So now very important concept, that is called to be the two things which we have already covered in before in further sessions. That was classification and regression. अब जब हमने इस प्रॉब्लम को पिक करा है, राइट, इसके बिजनेस को समझा है, डेटा को हमने अज्यूम करा है, डेटा को थोड़ा सा स्टडी करा, व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि दिस क्वेश्चन इज गोइंग टू बी द क्लासिफिकेशन प्रॉब्लम और द रिग्रेशन प्रॉब्लम? व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट दिस? प्लीज ड्रॉप योर आंसर्स इन द चैट बॉक्स. Okay. MHK says chat disabled, sir, my side. Then how you are typing, man? So chat is basically disabled for everyone. You can only drop the messages to me directly. Okay. Yeah. How many of you think about this? That it is going to be a regression problem or it is going to be a classification problem? Okay. Jackin Joshi says it is going to be a regression problem. Okay, we'll see. Radhika says it's going to be a classification problem. Okay. Vishalakshmi says it's going to be a classification problem, right? Shubham says, I think it is a regression problem. Okay. Rohan doesn't say anything. Vivo says that it's going to be a classification problem, right? So yeah, many of you are saying that it is going to be a classification problem. Some of you are saying that it is going to be a regression problem. Let's understand that. Let's have a recap for that, right? So regression was used when your output is in the form of continuous. For example, we have to predict the price for a house, even though we have to predict someone's salary, even though we have to predict some temperatures, we can say. So that in that scenarios, the output is in the form of numbers, right? But when the output is in the form of categories like spam or not spam, disease or not disease, survived or not survived, in that scenarios, we usually use classification. Now, I hope that I'm clear to everyone, and it is also clear that which type of problem it is, right? So now just tell me that which type of problem it is in the chat box. Okay, I'm getting multiple answers now. Classification, classification, classification. Everywhere it is spamming over my DMs, right? Yeah, it is a classification problem, right? So now let's understand with the data manipulation part that how we usually do it, because this is one of the important part of machine learning project, right? I know that model बनाना exciting लगता है, but reality क्या है कि in industries also 70 to 80% of the time goes in data preparation, right? You know that जो data scientist है in the industries as well, they mostly spend their time on this data cleaning and understanding about the data, right? And not on building fancy models, right? Models can be built in a very easiest way. I will let you know that how to build that and how we can do that. But data prepare karna, data ko samajhna is the most important part and the time consuming part, right? Now let's start with our coding part. थोड़ा ध्यान से समझना. It's going to be, is it visible to everyone? अभी क्लियर दिख रहा है सबको? Please drop the message in the chat box. Okay, okay, okay. I've shared. Okay, Anamika has raised her hand. It means that it is visible, right? Okay. Abhi also has confirmed in the chat box. Yes, it is visible, right? Okay. So first step in any machine learning project is called to be the data loading, right? I'll make it a markdown. I will write here data loading, right? So how we generally load our data? Can anyone tell me about that? कि हम डेटा कैसे लोड करते हैं? Any idea about this thing? Okay, I've got multiple answers. Yes, 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 yes. अरे yes नहीं बोलना है अभी. How we usually load the data? Just tell me about that thing. With the help of some libraries, we can say that, right? And which library it is? Please drop your messages in the chat box. Which library it is? Okay, I have got multiple answers. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, yes, pandas. Right, you are right. You all are right. You are intelligent though. Yes, there is a library called to be the pandas. And why that library is so much important in machine learning concepts, right? So we'll be importing pandas library because it is the primary library which is used to read, manipulate, and we can say analyze the data in the tabular form, right? Now just have a look how to import that. So for those who are working with notebook, this Jupyter notebook for the first time, जो Jupyter notebook के साथ work कर रहे हैं first time, they have to install it in your Jupyter notebook. So how you can install it? By writing pip install pandas, right? आप इसको रन करोगे शिफ्ट एंटर करके, देन इट विल बी ऑटोमेटिकली इंस्टॉल्ड. और अगर किसी में एरर आता है तो यू कैन पुट एक्सक्लेमेशन मार्क बिफोर दिस, तो आपका चल जाएगा. और एल्स व्हाट यू कैन डू, यू कैन राइट pip 3 also, so it will be working for you all, right? And those who are doing with the collab, you don't have to do this thing, right? Now, coming toward the second scenario, okay, I will leave this cell. I will convert it into Markdown and I will leave it as usual, right? Okay. Now, from here, I will be importing that library. अब मेरे को इस library को import करना. So I will write here import pandas as PD, right? So I have imported this library. You can have a look. कि जैसे ही मैंने cell run करा, it shows me the number. It means my cell has been executed and my library has been imported successfully. Now the question comes over here that I have written import pandas as PD, which means that I have imported this pandas and I am going to call this pandas as the name PD. So this PD is called to be a variable, right? How many of you agrees with this thing? कि ये जो PD लिखा हुआ है, that is called to be your variable. I can change it anything with any name. अगर if I will be writing over here Gaurav, so it's going to be Gaurav, right? I have imported my pandas as Gaurav. Why not PD? Why always PD? हम हरदम PD ही क्यों लिखते हैं? Does anyone have idea about this thing? कि why always we write PD as it is a variable? Okay, I'm getting answers. Okay. No, Prathna says no, she don't know about that, or he don't know about that. I don't know. Okay. Shubham says agree. I know that you are agreed with that. Okay. Shubham says that for remembering the name, we can say, but okay. Yashvi says it is case sensitive. How it is case sensitive? No. Okay. Gayatri says alias name. Okay. Krishna says that panda has a unique ID. Okay. So I will let you know that instead of this PD, we can write anything, but it is industry recognized कि सब लोग as a it's a human behavior we can say कि सब लोग PD use करते हैं because it is industry recognized कि आप PD use कर सकते हो pandas के लिए. So that is the standard form, right? Yes, yes, you are right, Vismay. You have given the right answer that it is called to be the standard form, we can say, right? Yeah. So this was the thing. Now we have imported this and we have used this. Now this library is used for doing the manipulation part, analyzing the data, right? And our Titanic data set is in the form of CSV format. So what we'll be doing, we'll be writing over here, I will be creating a data frame. DF is equals to PD dot read underscore. I'm going to read my CSV file. So I have written here underscore CSV. That will be followed by this parenthesis, right? Just please let me know that this codes are clearly visible to you all, right? अगर font अगर छोटा लग रहा है देखने में तो I can zoom in. Please let me know about this thing. Is it visible to you all? Okay, yes. Okay. Clearly visible. Okay, thank you for the confirmation, right? Now pandas allows us to load the dataset, view the dataset, clean the dataset, modify the columns, and to prepare the data for the machine learning, right? But without pandas, working with structured data would be extremely difficult and inefficient. So this is why pandas is a very important library, we can say, in this specific machine learning part, right? Now, moving ahead, what I will be doing, I will be pasting my file path. So I will be moving again. I will be copying my file path. Okay. Now I will be coming back. Now I will be pasting over here. Now you can have a look. Here is a scenario. I will be putting this inverted commas, and in that I will be putting this path for that specific file, right? So जब आप इसको paste करोगे, then you are all done with that. Or if you are doing it in Jupyter, what you can do, you can directly directly we have installed, we have dropped the file over here now. So you can directly write over here that import pandas as PD, right? And here you can do that df is equals to pd dot read underscore CSV, that will be followed by parenthesis, and directly you can come to this titanic.csv or three dot pe click करके you can directly click on this copy path, and once you will come over here you can directly paste it into the inverted commas and you will run, it will work, right? So this is how you can do that. Now once you will done with this one, I will enter this, I will execute this command, this cell specifically, right? So once you are done with this thing, so the first thing comes over here that अब हम अपने डेटा को देखें कैसे. So to do that, what I can do, I can write over print, and in this one I will write the variable name, that is df, that is called to be my data frame, right? If I will run this cell, you can have a look that it is giving me the data, it is printing all the data, but it is not in the form of tabular, it is not in the tabular format, right? So to print this data into the tabular format, what we used to do, ये सबकी आदत होती है प्रिंट लगाना, बट इफ यू विल बी एग्जीक्यूटिंग दिस सेल विदाउट राइटिंग प्रिंट स्टेटमेंट, अब मैं इसको एग्जीक्यूट करूंगा, नाउ यू कैन हैव अ लुक that it is coming into the tabular format, right? Where we are having several different columns. The first column is for passenger ID, second column is for survived, third column is for passenger class, fourth column is for name, then sex come, then age, then sib-sp, that is called to be your sibling and spouses, then parts, which is also called to be as the parents and children's, then tickets, fare, cabin, and the embarked one, right? And this one is having 891 rows and 12 columns. This data set is having 891 rows and 12 columns. If someone asks you to show me that what's the shape of this data set, so you can directly write over here df.shape, or not this one, right? Directly I will be writing this thing and I will be getting that I am having 891 rows and 12 columns, right? How many of you are on the same page? Please drop a message over the chat. How many of you are on the same page? Okay, Visma says, yes, yes, we are. Okay, Krishna says, me. Okay, that's great, right? Now, coming towards the next point, that is called to be your how we are. Now, here you can have a look that we are having 0 to 4, and then we are having 886 to 890. We are seeing almost every single data in that. Some dots are there, it means it is having more data inside that. So it starts from 0 till 890. It's total, it's going to be 891, right? So now what if I have to see, I have to look over only top 5 rows, then what I will be doing? If you knows the answer, please drop your message in the chat box. If I want to look over the top 5 rows, what I will be doing in that scenario? Okay. Yeah, okay. I have got an answer from Vishalakshmi. It's df.head. Yes. Yes, you can say. Here, what we'll be writing? We'll be writing df dot. It will be followed by head, and then it will be followed by the parenthesis, right? Now, the question comes over here that if I will be executing this cell without writing any specific number in this parenthesis, then it will be showing me it will be giving me the top 5 rows. If I will be entering some amount, let's suppose I have entered over here, that is going to be 10. So if I will run this one, you can have a look, it's coming to 0 to 9. It means that total count is 10, right? So by default, it is top 5. If we'll be seeing the bottom, if we'll be writing over here df.tail, then it will be showing you the bottom 5 rows. You can have a look over here from 886 to 890. It shows the bottom 5 rows. It shows the top 5 rows, right? So this is what we have done till yet, right? Now after this, the question after this, the question comes over here that what do you think? I have put it, I have dropped, I have you can have a look that whenever I have written this df.head, it is followed by parenthesis. I have written df.tail, it is followed by parenthesis, right? But when I have written df.shape, why this one is not followed by the parenthesis? Please drop your answers in the chat box, those who knows about this thing. Okay, okay. Please drop your answers in the chat box. Okay, I can have a look over this thing that you all are asking for the data set, right? For this one, you can directly come to Kaggle, or what I am doing, I will be dropping the data set in the chat box. You can download it from there, right? Okay, just have a look. Let me try if it is coming. No, it's not coming. Okay, just give me a moment, please. You can directly move to Kaggle, right? Once you will move to this Kaggle, you can sign into this, sign in with Google, right? Continue. Now, next. I agree. Okay. So once you will come to this Kaggle, you have to come to this dataset option. Here, write just Titanic. Click on, hit enter, go to the first one and come to this download section, download dataset as a zip. So you will be getting the data, right? Now, now just tell me about the difference. What's the difference for this? Okay, Prathana says considers full data. Okay. What about the rest? Okay, Soham says because it's not a function. Right, Soham, you are right. Ruchika says head and tail are functions. Yes, you are also right. Then what this dot shape is? वो dot shape क्या है? हाँ, shape is not a function. You are right till here. कि head और tail function है, shape function नहीं है. Then what it is? क्या है वो फिर? Variable is calling. No. Tuple. No. Rutura says order of the table. No. Avantika says no, Avantika, no. The answer is no for that. Uh, Jenkins is class. No, it's not a class basically. It's called to be a keyword, right? So इसको basically keyword बोलते हैं. That's why keyword doesn't have this specific, we can say that parenthesis, right? Now, moving ahead, the first thing comes over here that is called to be the df.info, right? That will be followed by again parenthesis. If I will run this df.info, let me bring it towards it. Yeah, now you can have a look. See, now when I have written this df.info, you can have a look that I have got all the information about my specific entire data set, right? अब एक और चीज यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स क्या गलती करते हैं, दे यूज टू राइट दिस df.info विदाउट दिस पेरेंथेसिस. इसके बिना भी ये एग्जीक्यूट कर जाएगा. जस्ट हैव अ लुक, ये एग्जीक्यूट कर गया, बट इट इज नॉट गिविंग यू द entire information about that. It's just simply printing the data, right? So parenthesis लगा के जब इसको रन करोगे, then you will come to know that about all the information are related to that entire specific data. Now, what does this information gives you? That it says that this entire data set has total 891 entries, right? Which starts from 0 to 890. It means that it has total 891 rows that starts from 0 to 1, and it has total 12 columns that starts from 0. You can have a look that starts from 0 to 11. It means that there are 12 columns, and then you will get the column name, that is passenger ID, survived passenger, class, name, sex, age, siblings and spouses, parents and children, ticket, fare, cabin, embarked. All the columns are listed over there. देन इट सेज नॉन नल काउंट, यानी कि कितने कॉलम, इस कॉलम के अंदर कितनी वैल्यूज प्रेजेंट हैं. सो टोटल 891 वैल्यूज आर प्रेजेंट इन दिस कॉलम. इट मींस 891 टोटल एंट्रीज थी और 891 वैल्यूज प्रेजेंट है. इट मींस दैट देयर आर नो मिसिंग वैल्यूज इन दिस कॉलम. नाउ according to this, please have a look and let me know that which columns are having the missing values. Name those columns in the chat box. Yes, everyone, please do that. Just name all the columns, those who are having the missing values. I have told you that how we can figure it out. Okay. Okay. I got an answer from Shivam, that is cabin and age. Okay. You are right till here, but more columns are there. Just have a look very clearly. Age, he is right for the age because it is having only 714 values. So out of 891, only 714 values are there. It means that this column is having the missing value. Again, coming towards this cabin, it is only having 204 values. It means that this one is also having the missing values, right? And Vanshika says that, sorry, Vishalakshmi says that age, cabin, and the embarked is also having the missing values, right? This is the way which you have figured it out, but by putting your efforts. But how you can do it without giving your efforts? How you can find it out? And how much missing values are there? So let's have a look into that. For that specifically, what we can do, we will be having, let's have the statistics. Let's get the statistics of this data. Now, to get the statistics of this data, what I will be doing, I will be writing over here df.describe, right? जब मैं df.describe लिखूंगा, it will be giving me the statistics of the data for the entire data set, but entire numerical columns, right? Not for the categorical columns, or we can say the string columns or the object columns, right? So you will be getting that. And I know one more thing I forgot about that. In information, once you will be doing this df.info, you will be getting the data type as well. That which column is having which data type. Integer, this one is having float, this one is having object. So you will be getting that. Now, once you will be doing to this df.describe, you will be getting all the statistics for all the numerical columns. Like passenger ID, it is going to be a integer. It means that it is a numerical column. For this passenger ID, you will be getting everything. That is the count. What is the count of this passenger ID? What is the mean of this passenger ID? What is the standard deviation of the passenger ID? What is the minimum value of this passenger ID? What is the 25% value of this passenger ID? What is the 50%, 70% value of this passenger ID? And what is the maximum value of this passenger ID specific column? So according to each specific columns, you will be getting all these details, right? But what about the rest of the left columns? For example, name, we can say name is there, we can say sex is there, we can say cabin is there, embarked is there. But what about those? So does anyone of you know about this thing, that how we can get statistics for all of the entire data set? Any idea about that? Yes or no? Please drop the answers in the chat box. Okay, Shivam says that cabin age embarked by AI. That's interesting. Okay, Shivam says no, he don't know about that. Okay, I have got multiple answers. Ruturaj is saying, sir, how it is advantageous for over MySQL. Yes, it is. I will be letting you know, right? So let me complete this first. Okay, Ruchika says no, 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 no. Okay, so just have a look that how we'll be getting that as well. So if I want to have a look over every single column, what I will be doing, I will be writing the same command, df.describe, that will be followed by this parenthesis. But in this parenthesis, I will pass one attribute that is called to be include, and that is equals to what it will be. It will be all. I will be writing here all. And if I will be running this one, now you can have a look that it is coming for each and every specific columns. That you can have a look. That cabin is also there, embarked is also there, sex is also there, name is also there. All the columns are listed in this one, right? So this is the one thing. Now, after this, as we have seen that we were having some missing values over here, right? I will write this df.info again, right? As we were having a look that we were having the missing values in this specific columns, that can be age, cabin and embarked. But how we are going to know that how much missing values and where missing values do we have? So if I will be writing over here df dot is null, that will be followed by this parenthesis. And if I will run this one, now you can have a look that it is showing you that false, which means that here the missing value is not present. Wherever the true is there, it means that there is a missing value. And for example, in cabin, the first at the 0th place, it is true. If I will be moving to my data, where is my data? Here it is. If I will be moving to my data, just have a look. This cabin was having the first value, the 0th row was having nan. It means it was having the missing values, right? So accordingly, it is showing me true over here. So wherever it is having the missing values, it will be true. Wherever it will be, wherever the values are present, it will be showing false over there, right? But again, in this, whenever we will be doing this df dot is null, अब इसमें एक प्रॉब्लम आता है, क्या प्रॉब्लम आता है कि इसके अंदर हम बैठ करके काउंट तो नहीं कर सकते दैट हाउ मच ट्रूज आर देयर एंड हाउ मच फॉल्स आर देयर, राइट? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू एग्रीज विद दैट? ओके, ओके, यस, शिवम सेज यस सर, यस राइट सर, ओके, यस। हम इसमें बैठ के ढूंढ तो नहीं सकते कि कितने ट्रू है, काउंट तो नहीं करेंगे बैठ करके। सो व्हाट वी कैन इंस्टेंटली डू, वी कैन type over here that df dot is null dot, that will be followed by parenthesis dot any, right? जैसे ही आप ये any लिखोगे, what it will be doing, it will be giving you according to the columns, right? That exactly which column is having which things, which scenarios, right? For example, किस किस column के अंदर आपके पास missing values हैं? तो आपके age के अंदर missing values हैं, कैबिन के अंदर मिसिंग वैल्यूज है, एंड एम्बार्क्ड के अंदर मिसिंग वैल्यूज हैं, राइट? अब इससे आपको ये पता चल गया, अब आपको ऐसे ढूंढना नहीं पड़ेगा स्पेसिफिकली कि कहाँ कहाँ ट्रू है, राइट? इससे आपको ये पता चल गया हमारे इन 3 कॉलम्स के अंदर मिसिंग वैल्यूज है। नाउ द क्वेश्चन कम्स ओवर हियर कि कितना मिसिंग वैल्यूज है। व्हाट आई विल बी डूइंग, आई विल बी राइटिंग ओवर हियर df डॉट इज नल, राइट? दैट विल बी फॉलोड बाय पैरेंथेसिस डॉट सम, राइट? तो जैसे ही मैं इसको ये लिखूंगा, यू कैन हैव अ लुक दैट आई हैव गॉट माय आंसर, दैट my age column is having 177 missing values. My cabin column is having 687 missing values. My embarked column is having 2 missing values, right? यहां तक समझ में आया सबको? Have you got the points? Please drop the messages in the chat box. Okay, I have got multiple messages from Anjali itself. Yes, sir. Ruturaj, yes, sir. Shivam, yes, sir. Okay, that's great. Okay. So this is how we can simply get the number of missing values, right? Now, the question comes over here कि अब या तो हम 2 सिनेरियोज है, ठीक है, इस मिसिंग वैल्यूज को फिल करने के, वी हैव टू सिनेरियोज मोस्टली वी कैन से, राइट? फॉर एग्जांपल, लेट्स हैव एन एग्जांपल ऑफ दिस, वी कैन से कि वो कौन से 2 सिनेरियोज हैं, राइट? सो बिफोर फिलिंग दैट सिनेरियोज, व्हाट विल बी डूइंग, आओ थोड़ा सा देखते हैं इसको, ठीक है? विल कम टू द मोर एक्सप्लोरेशन पार्ट, ठीक है? यहां तक तो था हमारा, चलो डेटा क्लीन करा हमने, ठीक है, डेटा क्लीन करा। अब डेटा क्लीन करके हमें पता चला कि हमारे पास यहाँ पे मिसिंग वैल्यूज हैं, राइट? अब चलो इसको थोड़ा सा ना विजुअलाइज करते हैं कि क्या मेरा जितना जो भी मैं डेटा ले रहा हूँ, कि क्या वो मेरा डेटा सही है या गलत है, या फिर जो भी मैंने डेटा पे एक्शन परफॉर्म करे हैं वो क्या परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं। सो वी कैन हैव मल्टीपल क्वेश्चंस ओवर हियर। हमारे पास हमारे मन में कुछ क्वेश्चंस भी आ जाएंगे, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर हम ईडीए करने आ रहे हैं, लेट्स सपोज, हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो अबाउट ईडीए? जस्ट टेल मी इन द चैट बॉक्स, ईडीए। No. Okay. Vishalakshmi says no. Shivam says no, sir, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir. Okay, ठीक है. So EDA basically is called to be the exploratory data analysis, right? So this is something where we behave like a detective. We ask the questions, like we can say that how many people were survived, right? What was the age distribution? What gender affect the survival, right? does ticket class matters for us or not? So this is how you can put your questions. आप अपने क्वेश्चंस पुट कर सकते हो यहाँ पे, और उस क्वेश्चंस के अकॉर्डिंग ही हम अपने मॉडल्स को बिल्ड करते हैं, राइट? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, so the first question was, my first question was, how many were survived? I will write the question over here. I'll make it mark down. I will write the question. How many were survived? Right? So this was my first question. I will make it, sorry, I will make it bold. Not the bold exactly. I will make it to, yes, this one. Let's give some. Okay. Okay. So how many were survived usually? So this is my main question, right? So how I can check this one? कि मेरे पास कितने persons जो थे, I will do here df.head for getting the better understanding of the data, right? अब मेरे पास इसमें कितने survived थे? How many are survived from this one? अब ये कैसे पता चलेगा बताओ? Do anyone know about this thing? कि how we can figure it out? Anyone knows about this thing? Yes or no? You can directly write. Okay, no, Anjali says no, sir. We don't know about this thing. Som says, yeah, exploratory data analysis. That is correct. Okay, Radhika says no, sir. Okay. Manu says me. Vedant says no, sir. Okay. I have got multiple answers to that. That is related to no itself, right? So, देखो, there is a term that is called to be value underscore counts, right? If I will be writing over here df means my data frame. I have called my data frame means the entire data set. ठीक है, जैसे ही मैंने df लिखा it means that I have called my entire data set. पूरा data set आ गया. अब पूरे data set में से मेरे को क्या निकालना था? I have to check that how many were survived. Means I have to take this survived column, right? तो मैं df के ऊपर I will put this big bracket, right? Square bracket. In this square bracket, I will write survived. Now, whatever you will write the column name, whatever the column name you will pass over here in this big bracket. So that is case sensitive. As it is written in the data set, as it is, you have to write over here. I have written over here survived, right? So it means that from my entire data set, I have fetched my survived column. And on this column, I want to figure out that how many values are there. Values underscore count, right? That will be followed by this parenthesis, right? Sorry, it will be counts and it will be values, right? So this is the thing. If I will run this one, execute this command, you can have a look that it is saying that the total number of survived were 1 means 342, 0 means 549, right? So this was the ratio, 5:3. So this was the majorly ratio. इतने परसेंट सर्वाइव करे, इतने परसेंट डाई, didn't survive in this scenario, right? Let's suppose इसी को मैं दूसरे तरीके से लिखना चाहूँ, so I can write survival count is equals to, for better understanding, just writing for the better understanding, right? And I will give this one over here, right? And after that, if I will write here like print that did the person who did not survive, right? Did not survive this thing, right? And that will be followed by, you can give a space over here, comma, that will be followed by survival count, SC followed by 0. I will pass here 0. It means that I am going to call the, I will be looking for the 0th one, right? And again, I will be doing the copy, and then again, I will be pasting it over here, the person who survived. Right here, those who survived. Right, and here I will put 1 instead of 0. Now if I will run this one, now you can have a look. Those who did not survive, they are 549. Those who survived, they are in 342, right? So this was the ratio for this thing. So these are the number of counts. I hope that I'm clear to everyone, right? आ गया समझ में सबको कि कैसे, how you can fetch that details, fetch these details, right? Have you got the point? Okay, yes, sir, yes, sir. Okay, that's great. Okay, nice, Ankita. Great efforts, right? Now, my second question was that what is going to be the age distribution? So age distribution हमने पहले ही देख लिया था in when we were describing this. When we have dropped this ना df dot describe. So this was the distribution कि एज का काउंट इतना था, मीन इसका मीन इतना था, स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन इतना था, मिनिमम वैल्यू ये था, 25, 50 एंड 75% वैल्यूज आर दीज एंड द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू इज दिस वन, right? So this was the distribution for the age. Now the main and the important question comes over here, that is, does gender affect survival? What do you think about this? Yes, everyone. Yes or no? Put your answers in the form of yes or no. The question is, does gender will affect the survival? I will write the questions as well. I will make it marked down. Does gender affects the survival? What do you think about this? Yes, everyone. I'm looking over your answers now. Okay. Vismay says yes, it does. Jackin says yes, it is. Abhi says exploratory data analysis. It's exploratory data analysis. Anamika says yes. Okay. Yeah, it's basically obviously it do, right? Gender affects the survival. Right now, how? Just have a look over that, right? So this time I will be using the cross tab, right? I will make a comment. I will write here cross tab. So this is the scenario what we'll be using this time. So I will write here PD dot, not the PD, actually df dot will be using this, not df, PD dot cross tab that will be followed by this parenthesis, and in this parenthesis will be passing both the scenarios, the sex as well along with the survived column as well. So df followed by this thing survived, then parenthesis, then again we'll be putting the comma, and then df followed by same thing on here. Sorry, here we'll be passing the sex. First we have to pass the sex and then we have to pass the survived, right? This thing. If we'll be running this one, you can have a look that you have got the cross tab for this sex versus survived. Now, the sex, you can have a look that the females, those who died, they were 81. Those who survived, they were 223. And the male who died, they were 468. And those who survived, they are only 109. Now, can you have a look clearly? Right? अभी पता चल गया हमें एकदम सही से कि क्या था क्या नहीं था. Let's find the survival rate as well. कि कितने परसेंट लोग according to the gender itself कि कितने परसेंट लोग जिंदा थे और कितने परसेंट लोग died in that scenario, right? So what we'll be doing, we'll be writing over here that I will pass here that the question, I will write the question first, that survival rate by gender, right? This is going to be, and I will be converting it into a markdown, right? Survival rate by the gender itself, right? So it's going to be df dot group by, right, followed by this parenthesis, right? And in this parenthesis, I will be passing directly the column name, right? So which column it was? That I have to group it by according to this column that is called to be the sex, and I have to apply it according to this column that is called to be, sorry, that is called to be your survived one, this one, right? And I will be getting the mean for this, mean followed by this parenthesis, right? Now you can have a look that it's showing me the percentage of that कि मेरा फीमेल के अंदर 0.74 यानी कि 74% फीमेल थे एंड मेल के अंदर ओनली 18% मेल्स थे जो सरवाइव करे उस टाइम पे, राइट? सो दिस इज द सिनेरियो. सो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू got the point? Have you got that? Okay, Shum says yes, sir. Okay, Ruturaj says Generally speaking, men's are more mobile. So yes, yeah, you are right. Manu says yes. Okay, Vedant says yes. Okay, okay, done. Okay. So now coming towards the next point, that is called to be. Uh, let's have a look towards one more thing that is called to be. What do you think? That does tickets matter or what? What do you think about this thing? The tickets matter or not? Okay, Ruturaj says yes. Okay, Shubham says no. Okay, Ankita says yes, sir. Okay, Radhika says maybe. Okay, that's great. Let's just have a look. Let's have a look कि करता भी है या नहीं करता directly. Okay, so according to me, I think that it works. But according to you guys, let's have a look that it's usually work or not. I will make it over here. Does tickets ticket matters, right? I will make it marked down. I will run this one, right? So to find that, what we'll be doing, I will be again let's use this cross tab itself, right? So I will take this one only. I will paste it over here, and instead of that, I will pass passenger class. I will write here P class. I will run this one. Now you can have a look. According to the passenger class, it obviously matters because first class AC के अंदर जो जा रहा है, that guy is paying more. So they have the highest ratio for their safety, and that's why they are paying more, right? 136 is the count for survived peoples in passenger class, those who are traveling in first AC. Second AC, it's around 87. And then the third passenger class, it's around 119 only, right? So this is the scenario that yes, passenger class tickets are also, tickets usually matters a lot for this, right? Yes. Now let's move ahead and we can start with the data manipulation part, that is called to be the data cleaning part, missing the handling the missing values, right? Handling the missing values, right? Okay, I will make it marked up, right? Let's enter some more so that it can go up. Okay, now you can have a look that we'll be starting with handling the missing values. So I will write here df.isNull dot sum, right? So this was the missing values. And one more thing, what if someone is going to ask you that how you can find the total number of missing values over the entire data set? Then what you will be doing? Yes. Do you know about this thing? How we'll be getting the total number of missing values over the entire data set? अभी तो हम यहाँ पे usually plus करके बता सकते हैं 177, 687 plus 2 will be getting the answer. But what if you are having more missing values? तब सबको तो plus करने नहीं बैठेंगे, right? So do you know about this thing? Yes or no? This you can directly answer me. Yeah. Okay. Ruturaj says no. Okay. Shubham says no. A big no is there from so Shubham. Anjali says no. Yes. No worries. I will let you know. See how we can do that. If we'll be writing df dot is null, right? That will be followed by parenthesis dot sum. And again, if I will be writing dot sum, so if you will be writing for the 2 times dot sum, if you will be running that, you will be getting the total number of missing values over the entire data set, right? Now the question comes over here that how we are going to fill the, how we are going to handle the missing values. So there are two options, right? So the first option is that either you can fill the values in that specific columns, or the second option is that either you can drop that specific column, right? So now when to drop and when to fill, how we are going to decide over that? Does anyone knows about this thing? किसी को पता है कि हम कब fill करते हैं और कब drop करते हैं? You can write yes or no in the chat box directly. I will be letting you know about those stuffs. Okay, Shivam says no, sir. Ruturaj says no, sir. So Soham says If not useful, then drop. Yes, you are right, Sohan. Yashvi says no, sir. Anjali says no, sir. Yeah, I have got multiple no's. It means that you don't know about this thing, right? So let me clear you out with this. तो देखो, जब दो सिनेरियोज होते हैं, या तो वो कॉलम हमारे किसी काम का ना हो, या तो दूसरा सिनेरियो, या तो उस कॉलम के अंदर बहुत ही ज्यादा मिसिंग वैल्यूज हो, राइट? सो ओनली ऑन दीज टू सिनेरियोज वी यूजुअली ड्रॉप द कॉलम्स, नहीं तो ऑलमोस्ट एवरी टाइम वी यूज टू फिल द कॉलम्स. नाउ हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू चेक दैट किस में कितनी वैल्यूज मिसिंग है? Here you can have a look that it is having 687. If I will be getting the percentage, then it is going to be easier for me. अगर मैं इसका परसेंटेज निकाल लूँ तो मेरे लिए और ज्यादा इजी हो जाएगा. तो परसेंटेज कैसे निकालेंगे? आई विल बी राइटिंग df डॉट इजनल डॉट सम डॉट मीन, सॉरी, हाँ राइट, डॉट मीन फॉलोड बाय parenthesis multiplied by 100, right? So I have got the mean for this everything. Let's remove this thing. Now just have a look, right? So जैसे आप लिखोगे isnal dot mean multiplied by 100, you will be getting according for that every single specific column. That age is having 19% missing values. Cabin is having 77% missing values. Embarked is having 22% missing values. It means that we are having the maximum number of missing values in the column called to be the cabin. तो cabin में जब 77% missing values है ही, तो cabin को क्यों ना drop ही कर दें, right? And we can fill the rest of the columns, right? So accordingly, what we can do, so let's drop the specific column first. ठीक है? How many of you know that how we can drop a specific column in this we can say using this Python, or we can say the pandas? How many of you know about the code that how to drop the specific column? Okay, I've got some multiple answers from Soham as well. Okay, we can use drop followed by parenthesis. Shivam says, I don't know, sir. Okay, Ruchika says drop followed by parenthesis, and that parenthesis, it will be having the column name, I guess. Yes, you are correct. Ruchika, absolutely correct. Dia says df dot drop na. Yes, that's the main question comes over here. That what's the difference between df dot drop na and df dot drop? What's the main difference between both of these? Is there anyone who knows about this thing? You can drop yes or no in the chat box. Although I'm getting multiple answers over here. Yes, yes, no, 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 no. Okay. What about the rest? Okay, Gayatri says no. Ruchika says df dot drop will drop the entire database. No, it's not SQL. See, just have a look. I will let you know about the major difference. df dot drop na में क्या होता है कि वो आपके एंटायर डेटा सेट में जहां भी मिसिंग वैल्यूज होंगी वो सारी मिसिंग वैल्यूज को ड्रॉप कर देगा, राइट? बट df डॉट ड्रॉप आपके स्पेसिफिक कॉलम को ड्रॉप करेगा जिसको आप परमिशन दोगे, राइट? तो लेट्स ड्रॉप द स्पेसिफिक कैबिन कॉलम. सो आई विल राइट हियर df डॉट ड्रॉप followed by this parenthesis. Now in this parenthesis, what I will be doing, I will be passing my attribute, right? So the attribute will be my dropping my specific my attribute will be my columns, that what columns I want to drop. Columns is equals to, will be passing this followed by this square bracket, and this one I will be writing over here, that is going to be the cabin column, right? Now if I will be running this one, now you can have a look कि जैसे ही मैं इसको रन करूंगा, you can have a look कि मेरा फेयर के बाद cabin column ड्रॉप हो गया है. नाउ यू कैन हैव अ लुक. अगर मैं थोड़ा सा ऊपर जाऊंगा, यू कैन हैव अ लुक कि फेयर के बाद हमारा कैबिन कॉलम था, देन इट वाज एम्बार्क्ड. जस्ट हैव अ लुक ओवर हियर. फेयर, देन कैबिन हैज बीन ड्रॉप्ड, एंड देन एम्बार्क्ड इज देयर. So what we have done, we have written the command, that is we have written our code, that is df dot drop followed by this specific column parenthesis and followed by attribute that is called to be the columns, that is equals to the column name, that is cabin. Now just have a look. अब हम चेक करते हैं df dot head, right? तो जैसे ही मैं df dot head को रन करूंगा, now you can have a look, again it is showing me the cabin column. Any idea about this thing, why it is happening over here? कि ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, कुछ पता है इस चीज के बारे में? How many of you know about this thing? Yeah, any idea? Okay. No sir, no sir. Soham says DF. Okay, Gayatri says no sir. ठीक है, देखो, just have a look. Whenever you write df dot drop and followed by parenthesis, whenever you pass the attributes that column is equals to cabin, तो ये क्या करता है, ड्रॉप फंक्शन आपकी ये कैबिन वाले कॉलम को ड्रॉप तो करता है, बट उस सिर्फ स्पेसिफिक सेल से ड्रॉप कर सेल में ड्रॉप करता है, ठीक है, नॉट फ्रॉम योर मेन डेटा सेट और द मेन एंटायर डेटा सेट, राइट। तो जैसे ही मैंने यहाँ पे df डॉट ड्रॉप कॉलम्स लिखा था और कैबिन पास करा, उसने इस सेल से तो ड्रॉप कर दिया, बट मेन डेटा सेट से ड्रॉप नहीं करा। To drop it from main entire data set, what you have to write, df dot drop followed by this parenthesis columns is equals to cabin, right? And this will be followed by comma, and here we have to write in place is equals to true, right? So this is what you have to write. अब जैसे आप ये लिखोगे in place is equals to true, and after this if you will be running df dot head followed by parenthesis. Now you can have a look. Cabin column has been dropped from the entire main data set. अभी हो गया clear सबको? Yes or no? Please drop in the chat box. Yeah. Okay. Soham says yes sir. Shivam says yes sir. Okay. Gayatri says yes sir. Yes. So this is what we are actually dealing with right now. Right. Now moving towards the next scenario. अब जैसे ही मैंने अपना ड्रॉप कर दिया, लेट्स कम टू df dot isnल dot sum, right? I will be doing this thing. Now once I will move this one, now you can have a look कि फेयर के बाद मेरा कैबिन वाला कॉलम नहीं आ रहा है. Directly I am having two columns, those who are having the missing values. First one is called to be the age, second one is called to be the embarked. Now it's time to fill these two columns, right? Now अब इसको फिल करने के दो तरीके होते हैं, ठीक है? दैट इज द सिंपलेस्ट थिंग व्हिच आई एम टेलिंग टू यू ऑल. तीन तरीकों से हम इसको बेसिकली फिल करते हैं, राइट? फर्स्ट वन इज कॉल्ड टू बी द मीन, सेकेंड वन इज कॉल्ड टू बी द मीडियन, थर्ड वन इज कॉल्ड टू बी द मोड. इन तीन तरीकों से हम बेसिकली अपने कॉलम्स को फिल करते हैं. अब नाउ when we have to use mean, when we have to use median, and when we have to use mode, how many of you know about this thing? कब हमें क्या यूज करना चाहिए? I will have some water till then. Okay, I got the answer from Gayatri. It's no. What about rest? Shivam says, forgot it, sir. Ruchika says, no idea, sir. Okay. Yashvi says, yes. Okay. Mean for average values. Okay. Yes, you are correct. Okay. Now just have a look. Just say, for example, we are having, we can say we are having integer, right? I will let you show. I will show you as well. df dot info. I will write here so that we can get the data types, right? So this age is having float data type and this embarked is having object data type, right? So now just have a look. There are integer, float and we can say the object, right? So the जब integer है आपके पास, when you are having the integer, it means that you are having true numerical count, right? जिस भी कॉलम का डेटा टाइप इज integer, int, right? It means that that specific column is having properly numerical values, based on numerical values, even the float as well, right? So coming towards that, whenever you will be having this numerical count, so you can directly use mean or median, right? But whenever you will be having the this thing that is called to be your category, whenever you will be having the category, for example, I am having one column that is called to be the passenger class, right? This one, passenger class, it is having integer, but the thing comes over here that it is going to be the category in the form of category. If I will be writing here, we are having let's suppose if I am going to take the mean, right? So passenger class में हमारे पास तीन category थी, that is going to be 1 plus 2 plus 3. यही तीन category थी, first class, second class, third class. If I will be dividing it by 3, then you can have a look, that will be getting 2. तो जिस 2 का हमको जरूरत ही नहीं है, राइट? जो आउटपुट आ रहा है हमारा, दैट शुड बी 0, अराउंड 0, राइट? अभी 2 आ रहा है, इट्स we are not in need of that because we are dealing with the categories. हमें तो सिर्फ एक ही कैटेगरी चाहिए ना, दो कैटेगरी तो नहीं चाहिए एक बार पे, एक ही कैटेगरी चाहिए, राइट? सो in this scenario we will be not using mean, we will be using mode at this time, right? I will delete this one from here. Now just have a look. So be clear from your end that whenever you will be having the numerical values in that scenario, integer values, then in that scenario you can use mean or median, right? Whenever you will be having float, means whenever you will be having the continuous numbers like age, fair, at that time you can use median, right? And again, coming towards the next scenario, that is called to be your object. So whenever you will be having the we can say the categorical columns, you have to directly use with the go with the mode itself, right? Now I hope that I'm clear to everyone, right? You can drop your answers in the chat box. If you have doubt, you can ask me again. Okay, right, sir. Okay. When there are not no outliers, yes, you are right. Gayatri says yes, sir. Right, sir. Okay, that's great. I hope I am quick curious that you all are getting the all the points, even though the session is going to be quite long. Yeah, but stay, it's fine, right? Okay. Now coming towards the next scenario, right? For example, how will be going to fill that? So I will be using which command is used, or we can say which code is used, which function is used for filling the missing values. Who knows this answer? How we can fill the missing values? By which function we can do that? Does anyone knows about this? Yes or no? You can directly write yes or no, and after that, okay. Vishalakshmi says that fill an A. Yes, you are absolutely right. Right. Now you can use dot fill an A to fill the specific functions. Now how we will be doing that? I will be writing over here. Let me add some more lines so that it comes at the top. Yes, df, right, bracket, and this one will be calling for age, right? I will be writing over here age, that will be followed by this dot fill na, that will be followed by parenthesis, and in this parenthesis now अभी हमने define करा, क्या define करा कि हम एज वाले कॉलम के ऊपर fill एन लगाएंगे, मीन्स की दैट वी आर गोइंग टू फिल द मिसिंग वैल्यूज ऑफ द कॉलम विच इज कॉल्ड टू बी द एज। जो भी एज के अंदर मिसिंग वैल्यूज है हम उसको फिल करने वाले हैं, राइट? अब जो ये fill एन लगाया, तो अब हम इसके अंदर क्या डालना चाहते हैं? अब लेट्स सपोज मैं यहाँ पे 2 टाइप कर दूंगा, तो जहां जहां भी मिसिंग वैल्यूज होंगी ये एज वाले कॉलम के अंदर एवरीवेयर वी विल बी गेटिंग 2, राइट? But we don't want that. We want the median, right? Because we are having age, it is having float, we'll be passing the median. So how we are going to find it out? So what we'll be doing, we'll be again writing the column name, that df, that will be followed by parenthesis, that is going to be the age, that we are going to take the median from the for this median for this, right? अभी समझ में आया? अभी हमने क्या करा, हमने मीडियन निकाला, इसका मीडियन निकाला, एंड दैट मीडियन वी हैव पास्ड इन डॉट फिल एन ए फंक्शन, और जो भी इसका मीडियन आएगा दैट इज गोइंग टू बी एंटर्ड इन द एज कॉलम wherever the missing values are there, right? So this is what we have done till here. Now I will give the name of that specific column. अब अगर मैं इसको कोई नेम नहीं दूंगा तो ये क्या करेगा, एक नया कॉलम बना देगा एज नाम का और उसके अंदर दे देगा. बट व्हाट इफ आई विल से हिम that I want it in the same column name, that is called to be the age, right? अभी आया समझ में? अभी हमने क्या करा यहाँ पे, if I will run this one, now you can have a look. If I will write here df dot is null dot sum entered by this, now you can have a look that age is having 0 missing values. Have you got this point, everyone? Yes or no, or should I repeat that again? Anjali says no. Okay. Shivam says df dot null dot medium. Okay. Shubham says, yes, sir, we have got the point. Anjali says, no. Okay. Vishalakshmi says, yes, sir. Gayatri says, yes, sir. Shubham says, fill in. Okay, let me make it for one more time for Anjali itself. देखो, what we have did, हमने क्या करा, सबसे पहले df dot median लिया. I will do here itself again, right? देखो, df dot, let's take df dot median. Df of एफ ऑफ एच, राइट, ठीक है। इसका हमने क्या करा, मीडियन निकाल लिया, मीडियन, ये निकाल लिया मीडियन, राइट। अब जब हमने ये मीडियन निकाला तो हमें इसको पुट करना है किसके अंदर, ये मीडियन हमें किसके अंदर चाहिए, मीडियन हमें किसके अंदर चाहिए, फिल एन के अंदर पुट करना है। आई विल राइट हियर फिल एन फॉलोड बाय पैरेंथेसिस, और ये पैरेंथेसिस यहाँ क्लोज करा, तो ये मैंने लगा डाल दिया, किसके अंदर डाल दिया, फिल एन के अंदर डाल दिया। इट मीन्स कि अब जिस भी कॉलम के ऊपर मैं ये फिल एन लगाऊंगा उसके अंदर जहां जहां मिसिंग वैल्यूज होंगी वहां पे क्या जाएगा, वहां पे मेरे पास एज का मीडियन जाएगा, इस वाले कॉलम का मीडियन वैल्यू जाएगी, ठीक है। तो अब मैं यहाँ पे बोलता हूँ मेरे को लगाना है ये डीएफ ऑफ एज के ऊपर, राइट, डॉट फिल एन, राइट। और मैं इसको बोलता हूँ कि ये पूरा का पूरा जो भी है ये मेरा सेव होगा इस कॉलम के अंदर जिसका नाम है डीएफ ऑफ एज, इस कॉलम के अंदर जाकर के सेव हो जाएगा। दिस इज व्हाट वी आर ट्राइंग टू डू ओवर हियर, राइट। अभी समझ में आया अंजलि, इज इट क्लियर फॉर एवरीवन? ओके, 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 दैट्स ग्रेट, दैट्स ग्रेट, दैट्स ग्रेट, डन, ठीक है। अभी हमने इसको फिल करा, लेट्स फिल द अनदर वन दैट इज एम्बार्क्ड। अब एम्बार्क्ड को फिल, राइट। नाउ if I will be writing here, I will be giving the same scenario, df of embarked, embarked, followed by this again, parenthesis, then square bracket closed. I will be copying this one is equals to, on this column, I will be applying fill in a, that will be followed by parenthesis, this column again. Now, this time I will be applying mode, right? That will be followed by this parenthesis. Now, अभी यहाँ तक clear है सबको? Yes or no? Be fast, everyone. Is it clear till here? Yes. Okay, I have got multiple answers. Shom says yes, Gayatri says yes. Okay, Anjali says yes. ठीक है, वही चीज हमने दोबारा करी, but this time we have taken for the embarked itself, right? Now, अगर मैं अब इस सेल को रन करता हूं, now you can have a look if I will write df dot is null dot sum. So you can have a look कि अभी भी यहाँ पर it is showing two missing values are there, and earlier also it was showing two missing values are there, because whenever you are trying to adapt the mode function in this one, you have to clearly define that on which row you want that. So I want the 0th row from here, right? So जैसे ही मैं इसको रन करूंगा, now you can have a look that it has been converted into the 0, ठीक है। तो एक चीज बस हमेशा अपने ध्यान में रखना, that whenever you are applying mode you have to put the 0th over there, right? Clear till here? Yes or no, everyone? Okay, yes, 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 yes. Okay, okay, Shubham, Anjali, Gayatri, that's great. Totally, right? Now, अब यहां तक हमने करा इसको सब कुछ कंप्लीट, राइट। Now what we can do, we can drop the columns which are not necessary for us, right? हम उन कॉलम्स को भी ड्रॉप कर देते हैं। लेट्स सपोज अब मैंने देखा कि मेरे पास टिकट कॉलम है, ठीक है, एंड आफ्टर दैट आई एम हैविंग नेम कॉलम, आई एम हैविंग पैसेंजर आईडी कॉलम। इन कॉलम्स का तो मेरे को नीड है ही नहीं, राइट। So what I can do, I can drop this columns. So I will write df dot drop, that will be followed by this parenthesis, columns is equals to, right, and I will be giving the columns name. I will write here ticket. Sorry for that. We'll pass here ticket, right? Comma. Again, passenger ID. Passenger ID. Then again, that the name, right? And I will write here in place is equals to true, right? If I will run this one now, I will put df dot head followed by, sorry, if I will write like df dot head followed by parenthesis, now you can have a look that this is my entire data set now. Is it clear till here for everyone? Yes or no? Okay, yes, yes, yes. I have got multiple yeses over there. Okay. Okay, Gayatri. Okay, Vijay Lakshmi. Okay, Shubham. Okay, clear till here, right? Now just have a look. अब सबसे important part, ठीक है, that is called to be the encoding, ठीक है। दो तरीके की encoding होती है, right? So how many of you know about this thing that we are having two types of encoding? Okay, 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 okay. yes or no, just you can define by doing that. अच्छा, कि पता है या नहीं पता है, बस ये बता दो. Okay, Vishalakshmi says no, sir. Okay, so basically we have two types of encoding. We have multiple types of encoding, but two are quite famous. One is called to be your label encoding, one is called to be your hot encoding, right? अब इनमें होता क्या है, ठीक है? Label encoding works when category is binary. For example, in the form of 0 or 1. ठीक है, या फिर in the form of male or female, which we have to convert into 0 or 1, right? And one hot encoding is used when you have to use categories where it is more than two. ठीक है, for example, embarked में तीन तरीके की categories है. You can have a look over here. C, S, Q is also there. If we will be looking over the DF, now the first part, you can have a look. D, S, C, Q is also there. So यहाँ पे दो से ज्यादा categories हैं, right? So if we'll be applying on that, we'll be using that one hot encoding. If we'll be moving with this thing, we'll be directly moving with the label encoding itself, right? Or we can also use label encoding for this embarked as well, right? Now अब हम इसको use कैसे करेंगे, right? The question comes over here. So we'll be importing one of the library that is called to be the sklearn. ठीक है, तो अब sklearn, so I will write over here that from sklearn learn dot pre-processing, I'm going to import label encoder, right? Import label encoder. ठीक है, so this is what we are going to use, right? मैंने इसको इंस्टॉल इंपोर्ट कर लिया. Now after importing, what we'll be doing, I will be creating a variable that is called to be the LE. That is nothing but our label encoder only, right? So I will write here label encoder. That will be followed by parenthesis, right? तो जैसे ही आप इसको लिखते हो लेबल एनकोडर, इट मींस दैट यू हैव स्टार्टेड यूजिंग दिस लेबल एनकोडर, राइट? अब मेरे को इसके बाद क्या डिफाइन करना है, इसके बाद मेरे को वो चीज डिफाइन करनी होती है कि मेरे को कौन से कॉलम के ऊपर ये लगाना है, राइट? तो मेरे को ये लगाना है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई हैव टू यूज दिस ऑन लीड एली डॉट विल बी यूजिंग फिट एंड ट्रांसफॉर्म. टू थिंग्स, फिट अंडरस्कोर ट्रांसफॉर्म followed by the parenthesis, and here I will be writing the column name df of, I will be writing 6, right? Yeah, and I will be saving it in the same column. Same column के अंदर सेव कर देते हैं 6 is equals to, right? और ऐसे ही embarked को भी कर लेते हैं, because these two columns are having male and female category, and this one is having C, Q, C, S, and Q, three categories, right? So I will be doing the same for this one as well. This is going to be embarked, right? That is going to be LE dot fit transform followed by parenthesis df of embarked, right? ठीक, डन. इफ आई विल रन दिस वन नाउ, यू कैन हैव अ लुक. इसके ऊपर हमारा ये अप्लाई हो गया. अब ये करता क्या है, ये फिट और ट्रांसफॉर्म क्या है? सो बेसिकली फिट क्या करता है, फिट और ट्रांसफॉर्म बेसिकली क्या करते हैं, ये स्टैंडर्ड मीन निकाल के स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन के अंदर उसको कन्वर्ट करते हैं और फिर हमको वो प्रपोज करते हैं, यानी कि जो भी हमारा वैल्यूज है उसको 0 और 1 की फॉर्म में चेंज कर देते हैं, राइट? अभी समझ में आया? 0 1 0 1 2 0 1 3 ऐसे करके कैटेगरीज के अकॉर्डिंग ये कन्वर्ट कर देते हैं उसको. हैव यू गॉट द पॉइंट एवरीवन? इसको कैसे यूज करना है और क्या पॉइंट है इसका? हैव यू गॉट दैट? यस और नो, प्लीज ड्रॉप मी इन द चैट बॉक्स. ओके ओके, यस. ओके, दैट्स ग्रेट. ठीक है, सो ठीक है, चलो. सो विल बी मूविंग अहेड with the model building part, right? It's coming to be the interesting one, right? So अब मॉडल बनाने से पहले सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट जो होता है, दैट इज डिफाइनिंग द डेटा, and we can say the target variable, defining our target variable itself, right? So target variable define कैसे करते हैं? What I will be doing directly, I will be writing over here x, capital X, that is equals to of df, right? And we can say in this df हाँ चलो एक काम करते हैं, हम ये पूरा ही डेटा लेते हैं, बस इसके अंदर से ये सर्वाइव्ड वाला कॉलम निकाल देते हैं, बिकॉज वी हैव टू यूज इट फॉर द टारगेट वेरिएबल, बिकॉज दिस इज गोइंग टू बी आवर टारगेट, राइट? सो आई विल बी राइटिंग ओवर हियर df डॉट ड्रॉप followed by this parenthesis. I will be writing over here in this parenthesis. What we'll be doing will be will be passing the survived column. Survived, comma, access is equals to 1, right? And we'll be passing y is equals to that is going to be df of survived, right? df of survived. So this is going to be my x and y. अब यहाँ पे मैंने क्या करा, एक्सेस 1 पास करा ताकि यहाँ से ये पिक करे, ये वाला कॉलम पिक करे और उसको ड्रॉप कर दे वहां से, और उसको हमने कहाँ स्टोर करवा दिया, जो ड्रॉप करा उसको हमने y के अंदर स्टोर करवा दिया, राइट? तो यहाँ तक क्लियर है सबको, दैट हाउ वी हैव डिफाइंड आवर x एंड y? इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीवन? यस और नो? Okay, Vishalashmi says yes, sir. Ruchika says yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, I have got multiple answers over here, right? That's great. ठीक है, चलो अब सबसे पहला एंड इम्पॉर्टेंट काम, कि जब भी हम डेटा को डिवाइड करते हैं, राइट? सो नाउ वी हैव टू डिवाइड द डेटा। जब भी मॉडल बनाते हैं, मॉडल बनाने से पहले वी हैव टू डिवाइड द डेटा इनटू टू पार्ट्स, जिसको हम बोलते थे आज तक ट्रेनिंग एंड टेस्टिंग। नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू नो दैट हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू डू विद दैट। सो फर्स्ट जो है दैट इज आई विल बी इंपोर्टिंग द लाइब्रेरी फ्रॉम sklearn dot model selection, right? So I will be writing here model selection import which model we are going to use, that is, and right now we are going to use train test split, right? So this is what we are going to use. Now after this one, I will be defining the variables that is going to be xtrain, comma, xtest, comma, ytrain, y will be a smaller one, ytrain, comma, ytest. This is going to be, okay? And from here, I will be writing train test split. Sorry for that. I will be copying this one. I will be writing train test split followed by this parenthesis. Now, in this parenthesis, we will be passing the attributes. Now, the first attribute that is called to be your data. I will be passing x, comma, y, comma, then we'll be passing that how we want to split our data, कि हमें अपने डेटा को कैसे स्प्लिट करना है. So that can be in the two forms. या तो अब ये ह्यूमन बिहेवियर है, दैट वी कैन यूजुअली डू इट इनटू 7 raised to 3, 6 raised to 3 या 8 raised to 2, 6 raised to 4, 8 raised to 2 अकॉर्डिंगली, ठीक है? तो 7 raised to 3 क्या, यानी कि 70% ट्रेनिंग डेटा, 30% टेस्टिंग डेटा. तो मैं क्या करता हूँ यहाँ पे, मैं पास कर देता हूँ टेस्ट साइज, राइट? टेस्ट साइज इज इक्वल्स टू 0.2, which means that it is going to be 20% of the data, right? And comma random state is equals to 42. So this is what I have passed. ठीक है, अब ये random state क्या है? अब मान के चलो, ठीक है, let's suppose मान करके चलो that I am having a data, right? For example here, just allow me for a moment. हाँ, now अभी मान करके चलो that I am having some data, right? I am having this training data. अब इस ट्रेनिंग डेटा में आई हैव मेड टू पार्ट्स. दिस वन इज कॉल्ड टू बी द ट्रेनिंग एंड दिस वन इज कॉल्ड टू बी द टेस्टिंग पार्ट, राइट? सो मैंने बोला कि मेरे को ये दो पार्ट्स करने हैं इस डेटा के, ट्रेनिंग और टेस्टिंग में डिवाइड करना है. अब मैंने इसके ऊपर रेंडम स्टेट नहीं लगाया, ठीक है? रेंडम स्टेट विच इज समथिंग नियर टू अबाउट विच इज शफल द डेटा, विच इज यूज टू शफल द डेटा, ठीक है? स्पेलिंग पे मत जाना, ठीक है? अब लेट्स सपोज कि मैं रैंडम स्टेट नहीं लगाता हूं, तो क्या होगा कि मेरे पास जो मान के चलो जो खराब डेटा है दैट इज मोर ओवर टुवर्ड्स दिस ट्रेनिंग डेटा. तो 70% करा तो आधा से ज्यादा डेटा तो जो बैड डेटा था दैट कम्स इन ट्रेनिंग पार्ट, एंड जो गुड डेटा था दैट कम्स इन टेस्टिंग पार्ट. तो जब मेरा मॉडल ट्रेन होगा तो इट इज गोइंग टू बी ट्रेन्ड ऑन बैड डेटा, राइट? इट इज गोइंग टू ट्रेन ऑन बैड डेटा. सो जब बैड डेटा के ऊपर ट्रेन होगा देन my model will became wrong, है ना? So इसी वजह से what we used to do, we used to use this random state, ताकि पूरा का पूरा जो डेटा है वो शफल हो जाए, और शफल होने के बाद वो सेपरेट हो टू पार्ट्स के अंदर, राइट? इज इट क्लियर टू एवरीवन टिल हियर? प्लीज ड्रॉप yes in the chat box if it is clear. Okay, I can have a look towards the multiple yeses. Okay, Ankita says yes, Shivam says yes, Yashvi says yes. Okay, that's fine. Let's move ahead. Now, the things comes over here, that is how we are going to create our models, right? So for creating that model, again, we have to write one library. We have to use one library that is going to be from sklearn. Sklearn will be using a linear linear model, right? We'll be using that linear model, right? Like this one. I will be importing linear logistic regression. Logistic regression. दिस इज व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू यूज लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन. अब देखो, जब हम मॉडल पढ़ रहे थे, जब हम लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन के एल्गोरिदम को पढ़ रहे थे, देन वी वर हैविंग लॉट्स ऑफ थिंग इन दैट, बट मॉडल बनाना इज द सिंपलेस्ट वे, राइट? अब मॉडल बनाएंगे कैसे, देखो कैसे बनाते हैं. मैं यहाँ पे लिखूंगा सिंपली मॉडल, एक वेरिएबल बनाया, मॉडल इज इक्वल्स टू, आई हैव अप्लाइड लॉजिस्टिक, आई हैव रिटन दिस थिंग, आई विल कॉपी एंड पेस्ट ओवर हियर टू सेव माय टाइम. लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन फॉलोड बाय दिस पैरेंथेसिस. जैसे ही मैं इसको रन करूंगा, मेरा मॉडल बन गया, दैट्स इट, लग गई मेरी एल्गोरिदम. ठीक है. अब इस मॉडल के अंदर जो मैंने ये मॉडल बनाया, अब इसके अंदर मैं डेटा पास करूंगा. कौन सा डेटा पास करूंगा? एक्स और वाई अपना डेटा पास करूंगा, दोनों डेटा. ठीक है. तो अब देखो एक चीज, कि जब भी हम डेटा यूज करते हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जब भी हम अपना ये चीज यूज करते हैं, डेटा बनाते हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैंने एक ये डेटा ब्रेक करा, ठीक है, ये दिस वॉज माई डेटा. ठीक है. अब जब भी मैं इसको ब्रेक करता हूं, वो दैट इज गोइंग टू बी डिवाइडेड इनटू 4 पार्ट्स, राइट? That is going to be divided into 4 parts. So the first part is called to be the X train. Second part is called to be the X test. Third part is going to be called to the Y train. And fourth part is called to the Y test. ठीक है. अब ध्यान से समझना कि जब हमने मॉडल बना लिया, हमने लिखा था ना मॉडल इज इक्वल्स टू लॉजिस्टिक रिग्रेशन, मान के चलो ये हमने मॉडल बनाया. तो जब हम मॉडल के अंदर डेटा डालते हैं, ठीक है, जब हम मॉडल के अंदर डेटा डालते हैं, देन वी यूज टू टेक, सॉरी, हाँ, देन वी यूज टू टेक एक्स ट्रेन. तब हम एक्स ट्रेन को लेते हैं और वाई ट्रेन को लेते हैं. ठीक है. जब मॉडल में डेटा डालते हैं, मॉडल मॉडल में जब डेटा डालते हैं, देन वी यूज टू टेक एक्स ट्रेन एंड वाई ट्रेन. तो दोनों ट्रेनिंग वाला डेटा गया. ठीक है. दोनों ट्रेनिंग वाला डेटा गया. नाउ व्हेन वी विल बी प्रिडिक्टिंग आवर मॉडल, जब हम अपने मॉडल को प्रिडिक्ट करेंगे, कि वो टेस्ट करेंगे कि क्या प्रिडिक्ट कर रहा है, देन वी विल बी यूजिंग दिस डेटा, प्रिडिक्टिंग मॉडल. ठीक है. और जब हम मॉडल को पूरा टेस्ट करेंगे, जब हम इसको इवेल्युएट करेंगे कि जो मेरा मॉडल आंसर दे रहा है वो सही आंसर दे रहा है या गलत आंसर दे रहा है, तब हम वाई टेस्ट को यूज करेंगे. सो दीज आर द 4 थिंग्स एंड 4 डिफरेंट सिनेरियोज इन दिस. ठीक है. आओ देखते हैं अब कैसे करेंगे. सो आई विल राइट ओवर हियर, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी सिंपलेस्ट फॉर्म, मॉडल डॉट फिट, followed by this parenthesis, and in this I will pass x train, comma, और y train, राइट? ये दोनों चीजें पास कर देंगे हम इसके अंदर. इफ आई विल रन दिस वन, यू कैन हैव अ लुक कि मेरा मॉडल बन गया, मेरा मॉडल ट्रेन हो गया इस डेटा के ऊपर, ट्रेनिंग डेटा सेट के ऊपर, राइट? नाउ आई हैव टू चेक दैट व्हाट माय मॉडल इज एक्चुअली प्रेडिक्टिंग, राइट? तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, एक नया वेरिएबल बना लेता हूँ, वाई प्रिडिक्ट नाम का, कि दिस इज गोइंग टू प्रिडिक्ट, वेयर आई एम गोइंग टू चेक दैट व्हाट माय एक्चुअली मॉडल इज गोइंग टू प्रिडिक्ट. तो आई विल राइट हियर मॉडल डॉट प्रिडिक्ट फॉलोड बाय दिस parenthesis, एंड इन दिस वन आई विल पास एक्स टेस्ट, जैसे मैंने आपको बोला था, एक्स टेस्ट, कि मेरा मॉडल क्या प्रिडिक्ट कर रहा है, राइट? ये चीज मैंने ले लिया यहाँ पे. नाउ लेट्स हैव अ लुक कि जब हमारा मॉडल प्रिडिक्ट कर गया, ठीक है, अब हम उसको इवेल्युएट कैसे करेंगे, दैट हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू इवेल्युएट आर, बेसिकली आर स्पेसिफिक मॉडल. कैसे उसको, उसका इवेल्युएशन कैसे होगा, एक्यूरेसी कैसे फाइंड आउट होगी, राइट? सो दिस इज व्हाट वी वर लुकिंग आउट फॉर. ठीक है. तो एक्यूरेसी फाइंड आउट करने के लिए व्हाट वी यूजुअली डू, we used to import one more library that is called to be the, we have to for this matrices we have to import accuracy score. So I will write here from sklearn dot matrices import this one, accuracy, accuracy underscore score, right? So this is what we are going to find out. Sorry for that. E will be not there. Now what happens? E will be here, matrix. Yeah. Now from sklearn.matrix, import accuracy score. We are going to import this accuracy score, right? Now what I will be doing, I will be writing over here. I will be taking a variable that is called to be the ACC, that is nothing but my accuracy. I will be putting this followed by this parenthesis accuracy score, right? Now in this scenario, what I will be passing, I will be passing my this y predict, which my model is predicting, right? Y predict comma, and the data which was left, that is called to be the y test, means the new data. Now if I will be putting pressing user, if I will be using my this, if I will be printing my this ACC, then you will be getting to know that the accuracy which you are getting on this model, that is around 81% of the specific model itself, right? So how many of you are clear till here that how we can create a model, how we can test a model? Just drop me a message over the chat box. Okay, Shivam says clear, sir. Prisha Lakshmi says, yes, sir, we are clear for that. Raj Kumar says clear. Anjali says, yes, sir. Okay. So I can see multiple responses in the chat box, right? So it seems that you all are clear till here, right? So now let's move to this section. That is, we are clear till here that how we are going to evaluate the things, how we have compared over the things, right? So in next session, what we'll be doing, we'll be looking over the, we'll be creating two more, two or three, we'll be creating more models, and we'll be comparing those models as well, right? So this we'll be doing in the next section itself, next session itself, right? So now this time for a small quiz, you can scan this QR code and fill the form right now. So once you will be done with this thing, please drop me the message in the chat box that you are done, so that we and you, me and you are on the same page, right? Okay. Okay. I have start the messages are started. Switi says done for sir. Yashvi says done. Shivam says done. Soham says done. Shubham says done. Okay. Everyone, please be fast for this one. Okay. Okay. Okay, done. So the main conclusion for today's session is related to that. What we have covered, we have moved with the model building, we have moved with the data cleaning part, understood about the business, moved with the data cleaning part, data manipulation part, moved with the EDA, that how we are actually working on that and how we are solving the problems. Then we came to know that how we can build the models, how the data set are being divided into multiple parts, and how we are working with the how we are going to evaluate the model, right? And so in the next class, we'll be having a look, we'll be comparing these models, that how these models are being done, right? So we'll be doing that. So if you have any questions, you can tell me, let me know about that. It's your time, totally. I'm looking over the chat box itself. Okay, there's one question. Access is equals to what? What it is. So that access is equals for passing that specific columns according to the number itself, right? Yeah, I will be letting you know more in more depth by tomorrow itself, right? So any other form from this? Okay, Shivam says yes, sir. The endline keyword is for NLP. No, it's not possible. Let me check. Okay, just hold on a moment, please. Just hold for a moment. Okay. Now you can scan this one. Everyone, please scan this one. This QR code. This is the new one. Please scan this one and fill the form. Yeah, once you are done with that, please, sir, we get 120-hour certificate. I have doubt. Please, sir, tell me. What, Neha? I'm not getting your question. Okay, you want to ask that you will be getting either you will be getting 120-hour certificate or 80 hours. It's depend on that, right? So it will be for 80 hours because this course is only for 80 hours itself, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So once you are done with this, please let me know regarding the course, sir. When milestone two will open? It's going to open. So it has already opened. So Raj, please have a look on that. Still showing Masterclass 5. How it is possible? Just let me check once again. No, it is for Masterclass 7. Please have a look. Please have a look on the QR code. Okay. For this QR code, it is again showing for Masterclass 7 is there, right? Yeah. Can you scan this one now? Okay, now it is coming for Masterclass 7. Please have a look on that. And once done, please let me know about this thing, right? Okay, done. This time done finally, right? Okay, Sweetie says done, done. Please be fast, everyone. Okay, I've got multiple downs, right? Okay. So that's all done from my side, everyone. Thank you for joining the session. We hope that you all enjoyed the session a lot, right? And we'll be meeting you soon in the next session itself, right? Okay. Bye, everyone. Have a nice day.